guys, today I'm going to be talking about this game I found on itch.io for free. It's called ultraADHD. Very interesting game name. What's kind of cool about this game is that it is like an indie game. It breaks the fourth wall, and it actually does multiple game genres in one. Now the game starts with you talking with the motherland and fatherland, who I guess are your main helpers in the game. This game also will talk about a lot of tropes that games will have, and that's pretty fun. And, well, I'll start. So first you start with talking to fatherland and motherland. They're basically talking about how it's the end world, and it's the end times, and you need to, it's like save the world, I guess. And basically, you start out in the starter town, which is a place where there's like a church, and then there's like this weapon shop. There's a soldier guarding the gate, and he says, you need a weapon to go through. And you find the weapon in the shop, which is a rusty old pipe. Because the shop, as I quote, is liquidated because of the end times. And basically, what's something also that's interesting about this FPS area is that in this you have to actually aim before you attack. It's not like just you attack; you have to actually aim, which is kind of interesting, but makes sense. But you start out with this. You take out some zombies, and then you find fatherland and motherland, and basically, then you put into a court trial because you're talking about going against the developer's wishes, and the developer of the game, that she comes into the game as like their only personified version, and then just like and then basically you end up just going into like one of those courtroom games where you have to like make objections and win the court case, and you don't have a lawyer, and so you're defending yourself. It's very weird, and basically objections in this game is just called bullshit, which is a very interesting mechanic to say the least. And then you literally end up in a space prison because so basically this zombie says that you killed all these zombies and that you did a bad thing, and you killed their zombie soldiers, and somehow the zombies are their own little like faction. And basically you have to go through this whole court case basically just to say that the zombies attacked you and the zombies are the reason of the end times. And then basically the developer just does a 180 and says, okay, well, since this game is absurd enough, the developer just makes you lose anyway, just to keep the plot going. And you also find out that Motherland and Fatherland were originally meant to be bosses, but they decided to side with you, which is very funny. But yeah, and then you go into the space prison, and then you're in a text-based game where you have to choose the text options of what to do. And we all know those games. Like, they were like a big thing back in the 1980s when computers were very basic, and that's all they could really do. And it's still a pretty interesting thing, and they make it pretty funny. So basically, what you have to do is you have this like AI computer, and you have this computer, and you have to like talk to it and make it like get you out. You try doing help, and then you say whelp, and somehow that gives you a thing where you can literally just willingly gives you the secret code to getting out of the space prison, and then you just take it. You take the secret code and then get out of the space prison, and it tells you right then. And basically you run around this little pod, you get out of the space prison, and then now you're in a literal turn-based RPG style boss fight with the creator, where at first he is absolutely overpowered, him having a shotgun and you just having a punch. But then what happens is that you go to the end, but then you somehow revive, and now he literally says you're in God mode now. How are you in God mode? And then basically you just finish this guy off with like a you literally defeat this guy by giving him the middle finger. I am not joking. that's how you defeat this guy. And you just keep doing that, and then you defeat him. And then he's like, you know what? Fine, have your ending. You win. And then that's the first ending. Now, I am a very impatient person, so I didn't do the other endings. But what I gotta say is that this game is a very interesting experience, to say the least. It's an interesting game, and it's just kind of funny how it takes a lot of tropes on video games and gives them an interesting spin. It also does literally 4 kinds of video games in one video game. First, your average fighter to first your average FPS game. First your average shooter game. Then your average like court case game, like game where you have to like find a court, Law and Order. And then you have your average text-based game, and then you have a Earthbound like then you have like a Earthbound like turn-based game. It's just like so goofy. Like this game is like basically like a homogenization of like all these 4 kinds of games, but it's really fun somehow. I think what I gotta say is the art style is really nice in its own weird way, and it has its own charm. Now, some of the things are a bit buggy and it is a bit weird, but it's a good game. I found it enjoyable. What I like is the story and and how it doesn't shy from breaking the fourth wall. And it also talks about a lot of tropes in video games that you see, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I like it. It's an interesting game. And also guys, I have decided that I'm gonna be doing where if you want me to, well, I have decided, guys, that you make a comment the comment that gets the most likes chooses the next game I play. So just think of the next like free indie game that you found on itch.io and comment it, and then I'll play it and talk about it. So that'll be fun. And the comment that gets the most likes will choose the indie game I play. So go to your heart's content. This will be a great one.